And yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I say too. But anyway, we got married, and Ernest Tate,
Uh-huh.
he came to Chicago too. His brother was Augusta Tate, and he's the Tate of Lorenzo Tate that
Yes,
passed.
yes.
Ernest Tate. Now, I'll talk to you about that later on.
Okay.
But anyway,
All right, go ahead.
yeah, Ernest Tate, he was my best man at the wedding.
Okay.
And he stayed in Chicago, and we got together and all together, you know. And one thing led to another, and finally, we wound up with a baby. And I stayed with my brother, and things didn't work out too good for that, so I finally got a place of my own for me and my wife, and we moved in. And it worked for a while, and then it didn't work. But
Okay.
one of them things. But
So Martin, it's been very interesting. Everything you've told me. You have property still, and you said you have property because right now you're here in a Hollister Manor, and it's like for senior citizens.
Right.
But you do have property. What's going on with the property, and where is it at now?
The property is up on Astor Road.
Okay, Weber.
In Weber, about a mile off of 10 north of Astor Road. And the house is in pretty bad shape.
Okay.
But my daughter and my son is talking about restoring it so it could be a family place for the family to get in. And I still have a lot of my belongings there because I can't bring them here. I've got family photos and things. I got a tub full of albums. I got a wall full of pictures. And I can't bring them here because I don't have nowhere to put them.
Okay.
But we are planning on spending, we're keeping the taxes and stuff on them. Matter of fact, I'm going next week to pay the taxes on them. My son, my daughter, and myself, we're keeping the taxes up on it. And it's being ripped off with a lot of the stuff I had on the outside. Yeah.
Okay, some people are coming back.
Oh, yeah. We had a tractor sitting out there, had a little grass lawnmower there. They came and took the seat off of it, and my son said, well, Dad, you ought to put a sign on and tell them to take the whole thing because they're going to come back and take the motor. And when I got up there last week, the motor was gone, a lot of stuff. I had a pickup truck up there, and I had it loaded because I used to do a lot of scrapping. And I had scraps, I had it loaded full of scraps. And this one guy came up there with my son, and he wanted to buy the truck. I said, yeah, you can have it $500. He said, okay, I'll take it. But he couldn't get it started, so he wouldn't got a battery, and he pulled it out. He pulled it out from where it was at, and he went to throwing the stuff off the truck. He threw about 10 or 15 pieces of material off the truck, and I had the truck packed to the top, and it was backed up in the woods almost. But they cleaned that truck out. They cleaned that truck out, and that's what they started picking. One guy came by, and he said he wanted the blade off the bandsaw. I said, well, take the bandsaw, because I figured if he didn't take it in, he's going to get
back in later.
Yeah, so I said, well, just take the bandsaw, yeah.
Well, all in all, Baldwin is not a bad place to come. It seemed like, because I'm in Ludington, and I got my church here, and I got a house here in Baldwin.
I love Ludington, too.
Yes.
I really didn't want to leave Ludington.
Yes.
But the road commission made me leave Ludington. They told me I couldn't work in Ludington and live in Ludington and work in Lake County.
And I forgot about that, too.
Yeah.
You worked for the road commission.
Yeah.
How many years did you work for the road commission?
I worked for 10 years.
10 years. What about the pension there? Did you get did you stay long enough?
I'm getting pension from road commission.
Road commission anywhere else?
No, that's the only one I'm getting pension
But
from.
I do remember you being at road commission. I forgot about that.
When I started, I was the only one that had a CDL license when I started, because I had gotten a CDL license when I was in Ludington.
Okay.
So when I came here, I had a CDL license. But at that time when I went, they wasn't worried about CDL license. The guys were driving without CDL.
How many blacks were working there before you started there?
Leon was there. Leon was there.
Okay.
And Mr. Barker was there.
Mr. Barker was there. Okay.
And
Leroy Williams, was he there? Because he's
no. Leroy
Right.
wasn't there. Leroy wasn't even in the picture there.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Leon and Mr. Barker was the only two black there.
Okay.
I don't want to say that for sure, but I think they were the only two black I could remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And you retired from road commission?
Yeah. I retired. I had put 10 years in.
10 years in.
And when they said I could get out of there,
you got out.
I jumped out of there. Because when I checked with my sister-in-law, and she had a brother that was a nephew that was a lawyer, and I was finding out how much I would lose on my pension, and he told me, so you ain't gonna lose that much. I said, well, hey, I'm getting out of it, because I got tired of that ice, because I was what I was called a ice driver. My truck was, the to go out on the road when the ice was there.
Yes.
I had one of those pickup trucks. And I get out there in the morning, that road be looking back at me. It was so shiny.
You said you done.
I remember one morning I got up and they called me, and I started down US 10 going to Wolf Lake. And some lady and a man came behind me, and I said, well, where y'all trying to go? I said, the road's just too bad to go. He said, but I got to get my wife to go. Mr. Brenner, Mr. and Mrs. Brenner, they was old around here for years.
Yes.
And anyway, he said, well, I got to get my wife to work. I said, well, the road's just too bad, you know. So I eased on down the road, and when I got to Wolf Lake, I looked down the hill and traffic was all the way around them curves.
Yeah.
I said, my God. And it scared me because I got this big truck and I got to go down between it. And I got down there and I started dropping salt and sand all the way down that hill, went around the curve and came back. And Pastor Childress was sitting there too. And when I saw him the next day, I said, what was y'all sitting there waiting on? Waiting on you to come and put some salt down. But we got them all out of that hill there. But boy, I hated that because our truck, my truck, and it was me, Bryce Avery, and Mark Schmidt. We was the drivers for the little trucks like that, the salt trucks.
Yes.
The other guys drove the blade trucks, and we drove the salt truck.
Okay.
And we, Mark had, I think Mark had east, I had south, and Bryce had the north. And I think Mark had east and south. I had the west. I had the west, yeah. And the southwest, I'd take 37 down to 10 and go west, and Bryce would go the rest that way, and Mark would take the others downtown and in the west. And boy, when I get out of there, I'd be so nervous with that doggone truck. And we had one guy, Bill Farr. He's living now. He's still in over Mason County, not too far. I see his wife, Sandy Farr. She works out at Milford.
I know her.
Well, okay, Bill. Bill was the only one I seen that would ride them trucks and wouldn't put no chains on them. He said, no, chains slow me down. I wanted chains and everything else I could put on that. They would send me out with a truckload of salt, and I would be going to Ottawa. And before the fish had dropped all that salt. I'd have to go back. Well, you put too much salt and sand down. But I didn't want to stand at that curve at the fish hatchery. I didn't want no ponds in that curve. And that's the way they would send me to go to Ottawa. I said,
well, you know what, Brother Brown, I just thank God for you.
Yeah, I thank God for being here.
You got so much history. We could be here for years and you still be talking.
Sure could.
So I just want to thank you for the opportunity you give me. And so everybody out there to know that God bless Brother Martin Brown. Everybody knows him, see him in Baldwin, Michigan. And everybody, if they don't know him, they know of his family. But we all are close-knit here. And it's just so good to have a history that is still around that they can live and tell us about it. So we thank God for Brother Martin and all of the family and all of who's taken part of the history of Baldwin and Ottawa. So God bless you, Brother Martin.
Thank you for letting me participate.
You're welcome, sir. And we can't wait to get you back in another 10 years. Well, God bless you, and thank you for joining the Gazebo Talk, and we will see you at another time.
Okay, thank you.